Hey there, greetings from Newburgh, Oregon. I'm Leah Jorgensen, and I'm here to talk to you about my 2016 Malbec. I actually am more notably known for my work with Cabernet Franc. I'm the only Oregon winemaker that is dedicated to Cabernet Franc. In fact, out of the 9 or so bottlings I make, I believe like 7 of them are either Cabernet Franc based or blended. The only ones that are not are Sauvignon Blanc and a Malbec that I make, this one. Both the Malbec and the Sauvignon Blanc come from the same vineyard in the Rogue Valley called Crater View Ranch. And I think this is arguably one of the best vineyards for Cabernet Franc in America. But to that end, it's also a wonderful site for this particular Sauvignon Blanc and Malbec that I get. And if anything, it validates for me why I'm working with Loire style varietals. In Oregon, as we talk about regionality and differences outside of the Willamette Valley, which is predominantly Pinot Noir, in the gorge, in the Columbia River Gorge in Southern Oregon, you're seeing vast plantings of all kinds of different varietals. And traditionally, Southern Oregon has been planted widely with Rhone varietals. Certainly some of the Loire varietals and Spanish varietals as well, and all other, a wide range of other grapes as well. But what makes this Malbec special is, I think, the vineyard itself, in that this Malbec is not anything like other New World Malbecs. It's not anything like what you're going to get in California or even in South America, in Argentina. And maybe it's more closely aligned with either the Cahors or Loire Valley Malbecs in France, but I'm trying to show an expression of what's uniquely Oregon. And so you can see behind me, I have a photograph of part of the soil series in Crater View Ranch, which is a result of mollusk shells. And over here we've got some fossils and shell imprints that are from a subduction that happened over 250 million years ago. And that's important because it gives the soils of the Rogue Valley a little bit more diversity than what has been traditionally named as ancient riverstone, riverbed with clay loam soils. So while there are predominantly clay loam soils in many of the vineyards that I work with in the Rogue Valley, again, land that was at one point underwater with the ancient Rogue River. This discovery in Crater View Ranch of all these like shell imprints and blue schist rocks and ocean bottom material tells another story. And it's a story about the subduction. And when we talk about like the big ones coming, the big earthquake on the West Coast, this is what it's referencing. And when you have plates on a coastline or outside of a coastline, you're either going to have a direct hit or subduction. And so in the case of what we're seeing in the vineyards with this ocean bottom material, it's a result from subduction, where one plate moved over the other and pushed with it all this ocean bottom material. In this case, into like a fan region that goes as far as the Cascade Range. And within this fan, you'll see even limestone and other evidence of fascinating ocean bottom material that is important when we talk about soil series and of what's available to plants when we plant things like grapes in these soils. So for me, it just validates why I'm working with grapes like Cabernet Franc, Sauvignon Blanc, and Malbec. This in 2016, it was a nice warm vintage, and it was pretty perfect. I mean, there were no wildfires on record that vintage, and everything just kind of came nice and clean. Very berry driven. Because the valley floor in the Rogue Valley starts at 900 feet, by the time we get into some of these sites, especially where we get our Sauvignon Blanc and our Malbec, they can get up to 1,600 foot elevation or higher. And What that means is we are able to have the long days that when we talk about degree days of heat, we have long days of heat. It's not that it's like so much hotter than the Willamette Valley. We just have more days of heat. There are some degree differences in the peaks of summer. But then we have this nice range of cool evenings and ocean breezes and things that bring the temperatures down. And this is where we see a balance in the wine from ripe fruit, a fully developed wine, a wine that has fully developed flavors, okay? And then we have acidity that has been marked by these nice cooler evenings. It just amplifies the acidity in these wines. So in the Sauvignon Blanc, Malbec, and Cab Franc that we get from Crater View Ranch, we get some really beautiful fruit that has plenty of heat accumulation, long days, so that we get a fully ripened plant. So we're working with fully ripened fruit. And then we're also getting these cooler evenings that give us really well-balanced wines, ample acidity. And you taste that in this Malbec. This is not a high pH wine. Malbecs from other regions in the New World can be like 3.7, 3.8. This is a mere 3.5. Or 3.5 and some change. And so you're getting really bright fruit, brambles and blackberries and blueberries and cassis, and it's really remarkably juicy and super food friendly. And it's not a small wine. This is not a light bodied, medium bodied. It really falls medium bodied to full bodied wine, but it doesn't punch you in the face. It's very delicate, and the aromas are lovely, and there's a nice earthy quality to the wine, as well as a subtle vegetal quality to the wine. So again, this is a wine that just plays wonderfully with food. My father, this is his favorite wine that I make, and he is the king of ribs, and he makes beautiful dry rub ribs, as well as he likes to make a blackberry barbecue sauce for his ribs, which goes so well with this wine that's why it's my dad's favorite wine. He loves to have it with the ribs. But it certainly can go with vegetarian dishes. I recommend with beans like black beans or red beans. But then it really plays with all kinds of different cuisines. So this is just cheese, whether you're wanting it with cheese or just something to sip along by the fire and get cozy with. It's really a remarkably versatile wine. So again, this is nothing like what is being produced in California or even Argentina. Think of it more along the lines of what you might see in Cahors, France, or even the Loire Valley in France, which they give it a nickname called Côte, C-O-T. And so I hope you enjoy the wine. Thank you so much, and cheers.